Welcome back. This is Brandy M. Miller with Creating with Love, where we work to create videos that spread love, hope, and joy to every human heart. And we are continuing the Journey to Love, which is the book we're working on. It may become a series, but you're watching me create it real time. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so January 1st, we started with the story outline. We built up the story characters on January 2nd and basically took it and created our log line and our single page synopsis. Yesterday, we came in and fleshed out the sidekick and the minion, and we expanded our synopsis. Now we're going to come back up here and we're going to work on the next two important characters, which are the gatekeeper and the herald. The herald kicks off the story. Without them, the hero doesn't get motivated to take action because in order to move out of their comfort zone and onto the road to becoming a hero, they have to have a sufficient motivation. They have to have basically a burr under the saddle. Our sidekick, and that burr under the saddle, it's not something that threatens them because most people aren't really motivated by a threat to themselves nearly as much as they are by a threat to their dream or the person they care about most. So we're going to come back up to our story outline and then come down to the story characters. Who's our herald? That's Vladimir Putin, the Russian president who's threatening nuclear war in this story. It's a viable threat. Unpopular opinion, I think he's shown remarkable restraint given what's going on in that he hasn't already hit the button, but that's me. All right, so here we go. Let's learn a little bit more about our big herald. How old is Vladimir? 72 years old. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna come down here for his biography. We're gonna say his occupation. This is education. We're gonna look for that. Leningrad State University. Cool facts, bro. Doesn't say what he studied there. Studied law. All right. Cool. Oh, he's also got a PhD in economics. Things you did not know. guess it's technically really good to do research for any character you're putting in your story, but especially if you're doing historical figures. Yes. Okay. Oh, he's divorced. Maria and Katerina. So he's a homeowner of Putin's palace. All right. No, I think he's Russian Orthodox. Yep, Russian Orthodox. This is the Orthodox is similar in many ways to the Catholic Church, but does not necessarily, some of the Orthodox do, some don't, does not necessarily follow the Pope, the Roman Catholic Pope, as their leader. It looks like blue. All right, that's enough information about him. And we'll start this. Who is the prelate, I think? Yeah, patriarch. There we go. Patriarch from Moscow is Kirill. Okay. How do we turn this in their favor? There we go. That's a happier ending. And yes, we're going to give it a happy ending. Because that's how I roll. Now that we know what the Herald's going to do and how they're going to play out, it's time to take a look at our gatekeeper. Which is Father Thomas McCade. '64. Master of Divinity. There we go. parsonage. Rectory. That's it. Okay, so his deepest desire is that all people should know Christ. His greatest fear that he will be the cause of the loss of one of the little ones in charge. Is oh, I forgot to do that for Vladimir. We'll have to go back. Greatest strength. His lack of diplomacy. He tends to be a straight shot. All right, now that we know who the gatekeeper is, let's look at the 5 parts of his story. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I kind of like that. So let's work this in. Okay, so here's Father Thomas McCade's story. When Putin threatens nuclear war over the Christmas holidays, Father Thomas McCade sets out to stir his parishioners to greater prayer and efforts to evangelize. Father Thomas agrees to meet with Lucy and review the book she's written on the faith, but forgets to read the book in his efforts to take care of his parishioners. Father Thomas becomes impatient with Lucy when she confronts him about how disappointed she is over his failure to make her a priority. Father Thomas reminds Lucy that she is not the only parishioner he must care for and challenges her to become a bride of Christ rather than remaining a child of God. Father Thomas is pleasantly surprised when he receives a thank you note from Lucy and a request for a new meeting to discuss how she can better serve him. Now we'll find a way, and let's go back to Putin and what he wants. His deepest desire. What do I think Putin wants? What else? His greatest strength. All right. Besides that, let's get these woven into our expanded synopsis. Let's see. All right, so that weaves that story thread in. Now, we need to go back and put in Putin's stuff. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Now let's see what else we need to put in. right, we are almost done with outlining. We're almost ready to break this into chapters and really start fleshing those out. We've got 2 more characters to cover. Let's go back into, and we're going to highlight the ones we've already done. We've got Connie in the bag. Oh, that's not the one I want. Okay, there we go. That. Yeah, we've got these done. Wrong color, thank you. We've got to, we still got some to go. Okay, so we've done these 3 too. Yep, so we have these 3 left to map out, and I think we will attempt to do that tomorrow. We'll probably stick around a little longer. We'll do all 3, wrap it into the story so we finish the synopsis. And then the day after that, we'll start the chapter breakdowns. And we'll flesh those out before we begin building. All right, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this insightful, helpful. I hope you're kind of excited to see where the story is going. I sure am. And that's all for today. Have a blessed day. Now, if you have not watched the other videos, I recommend you hit the pause button. Go watch those now. If you like what you're seeing, hit the like button. Comment below with what you thought about this and the story that we're shaping up. If you want to subscribe to the channel, obviously hit that subscribe button. If you want a notification when the next video pops up, hit that bell notification. Comments, and if you know somebody who's writing a story and you think this might help them, click that share button. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.